Todd, you want to talk about Gladiator 2?
Yes.
Okay, do it.
Okay, so Gladiator 2, directed by Ridley Scott, the sequel to the Best Picture winner from 2000. You could feel the anticipation in the audience for this. Like, I saw this on Friday night. I saw multiple Gladiator helmets being carried into the screening room ceremoniously. It was interesting. This is not my thing. I know a lot of people that had, like, worship Gladiator. I'm not one of those people, but I was like, wow, those helmets are actually pretty cool. I can't believe they're actually going to go wear those whenever they fight on screen. But anyway, this takes place 16 years after the death of Maximus Decimus Meridius and his son Lucius.
Spoiler alert.
Oh yeah, sorry. Played by Paul Mescal. He's leading a resistance. He sees his wife killed. People are taken out. And then he's captured and sent to Rome to fight as a gladiator without anyone really knowing his true identity. He's taken in by Macrinus, which is played by Oscar winner Denzel Washington, to be his prize fighter, and he's opposed sort of to Acacius, which is Pedro Pascal's character. He's the general of the army that killed Lucius's wife. And then there are these two emperors who are doing the Commodus Joaquin Phoenix thing, played by Fred Heckinger, which you will remember from Thelma, and Joseph Quinn, who you will remember from A Quiet Place Day One. And they are sort of facilitating the increasingly more dangerous bouts that they put Lucius through. And the main returning piece from the 2000 film is Connie Nielsen as Lucilla, who is Lucius's mother, now married to Acacius. So, of course, that causes some drama. There's to me, there's no surprise that Ridley Scott is the issue here. Like, when his scale increases, his attention to detail fails. The big sweeping shots look incredibly fake. Like, every time that there's like a backdrop shot, it's not good. In the first hour or so, or I guess predictably, Force Awakens level like retread of the first one. It's almost the same plot. What makes this movie a little different, though, and probably a little better, is the fact that it's got like a twinge of A Knight's Tale in it. Like, it doesn't take itself all that seriously until like it's like kind of preachy in the ending, but there's like a sense of humor to it that makes it really entertaining, and not just like the sweaty macho guy porn that the first one is, and like 300 is, and all those kind of movies. Denzel Washington, it doesn't really have to do much necessarily, but it's just a great role. Like, this could have been Tom Cruise, this could have been Sam Jackson, that could have been Kevin Spacey. Like, any movie star planted in that role, they would chew the screen up and get an Oscar nomination. That's what Denzel is going to do. Paul Mescal is awesome in this. He's a star. He's our next Daniel Craig or Christian Bale or something. But he's got charm to him too, which is different than Russell Crowe did. It makes me think there's like a little bit of Heath Ledger in that. Fred Heckinger is so weird in this. I know that was the part that was originally supposed to be Barry Keoghan before he dropped out to do Bird, which I could definitely see, but Heckinger is just so bizarre. The movie's way too long. It drags in the middle, which is expected with this genre. It's kind of better than the original, which isn't saying a lot for me because I don't really like that one, but it's saying enough because it's not my thing. Like, movies like 300 and Gladiator and Braveheart and Kingdom of Heaven, whatever, they're all the same to me. A whole lot of this doesn't work, but it takes risks in a way that I wasn't expecting, and it fails admirably. I mean, when your solution to not having an original plot is having mutated baboons and sharks, like, cool, I guess. 2.5 stars.
Well played. Yeah, I'll give this one 3 stars. I'm coming from a similar spot as you. I think we were talking before we started recording. I think both of us saw Gladiator this week for the second time ever, because it just wasn't one of those things that we clung on to when it first came out. Like, I saw it years after it came out for the first time, and it was kind of a what's the big deal about all this? And I watched him like, okay. I still say it's ridiculous that that's the one Russell Crowe won his Oscar for, in that string of 3 straight he had. 3 straight nominations. He's good. I actually probably appreciated it more the second time around. Uh, one thing I'll say about Gladiator 2 is I feel like it is, like I said with Wicked, it's fan service again. Like this is the fans demanded it, and they wanted to make sure it was something that the fans were going to appreciate. There's so many, like you said, kind of almost Force Awakens-esque. There's so many nods to the original, and so many moments where it's like, oh, let's make sure you know how this plays into what happened in the first one. It goes over the top at times, but what makes this movie work, it's Paul Mescal. Like, he is, like you said, he is a star. Why isn't he a favorite for James Bond? Like, when you said Daniel Craig, I'm like, dude, he's Bond. Like, you can't watch him in this movie and not say he is an action star and needs a franchise like that, because he does. I agree completely with what you said about Denzel. It's a very low war performance, but he's amazing in it because, like you said, you put any movie star in there with any gravitas to him, and it's gonna be awesome. And Denzel doesn't disappoint. Fred Heckinger is weird. I don't know what's going on there. And yeah, it meanders a little bit. I think I fell asleep for like 10-15 minutes in there, and when I woke up I was like, oh, I know exactly what happened in the minutes I missed, because not much. That's what happened. But it's ridiculously entertaining, kind of like the first one. One thing, this one might have the best like opening credits I've seen in a long time, that like flashback, because the opening credits like retell Gladiator, and the way it does it is so cool. And
like
I
they
was
didn't
just
actually have the rights to actually show the footage, so they had to do it in like drawing form.
is that what it was?
I don't know. I mean, that's what it seemed like. When I was watching, I was like, oh, maybe they can actually show like a flashback.
But I felt like they showed some later. I don't know. I thought it was just stylistic and just cool.
It was cool.
But yeah, I'm giving it 3 stars. Like, it was entertaining. I think I gave Gladiator 3.5, and so just a step below. But like I said, it's another fan service movie. It just, I feel like this one might have
I don't think the
accomplished
fans
making
necessarily
something
liked
good
it.
a little better. What?
I don't think the fans necessarily liked it because, like, it went, like I said, like you could feel the anticipation when it was starting. It was dead silent the entire movie, even when like there's exciting things going on and fights and stuff. Like, there was nobody making any noise. There's no gasps or anything. And when it got to the end of the movie, also there was a girl like a couple rows in front of me that did a full 2-handed like shove away. It's just like, whatever, I'm getting up and out of here, which was weird. I was like,
wow.
I feel like that would have pleased a lot of people, but I mean, it didn't have Russell Crowe in it. I guess it didn't have. I mean, you know that's not going to.
Right. Yeah. I don't know. I thought,
Did you see
it
a nice
worked
tail
on
in it?
some
Like
level.
I said.
I mean, a little.
It's
I don't
like
know. I didn't
campy.
necessarily. I didn't necessarily see the humor as much as you did. There is a little camp to it, but no, it's. I'd watch it again, which is kind of like how I thought about the first one. But the first one somehow made it all the way to winning Best Picture and Best Actor, and I still don't understand how. So, yeah. All right, Gladiator 2, 3 stars for me, 2.5 from Todd. Zach, were you a fan of Gladiator in any way, shape, or form?
Oh, I love Gladiator so much. I'm here for it. No, it's probably the third worst Best Picture winner of my lifetime. It's utterly despicable that it won Best Picture, and complete, because it came out in like May that year, and it didn't even really get that great of reviews. Like, Ebert famously hated it, so it was a strange Oscar pick in a really strong year otherwise. And I have no interest in seeing the second one because it would require me to see the first, which I guess rewatch the first, which, like Todd, I would probably have to do on Pluto TV with an hour of really choppy commercials and a bad internet connection.